Becoming a homeowner, great way to build wealth. Some say I'm a homeowner myself. But one of the things that really bothers me about being a homeowner is we all know that the government is very inefficient. But the one thing they're very efficient at is collecting taxes. That's like their bread and butter. They're really good at that. And making sure their assessments on your property are up to date. So, one of the unintended consequences of money printing and 0% interest rates is real estate was jacked through the roof. Yay. And since we're unconstitutionally perpetually renting our property from the government in the form of property taxes, those property taxes come due and, they have bills. They have bills to pay and all that kind of stuff. And since your property, hey, you made you made the assessment on the affordability based off that 30-year fixed mortgage. One thing that you can't quite know is what the insurance cost will be since the home went up in value. So that can change. And your property tax can change significantly. And that's happening here in my home state of Colorado. Local Colorado news, CBS Colorado, says Colorado homeowners prepare for 30 to 60% increase in property tax bills. Here's the funny thing. As a lot of you know, I'm in the military, and they means test to a certain degree your allowance for housing in the military based off your location. So one part of the government, meaning the local state government in Colorado, realized that houses went up 30 to 60%. But when it comes to allowance for housing for the military, what percent did that go up? About 10. So one part of the government realizes, hey, we got to collect more, 30 to 60%. And the part that needs to pay their employees, meaning people in the military, they just realized it went up 10. It didn't go up 30 to 60. It just went up 10. You get it? So they're very efficient at collecting, not very efficient at paying in the military, which is no surprise there. But reading from the article, homeowners across Colorado are bracing themselves for a hefty increase in their property tax bill. Not just property tax, home insurance, property tax, and utilities. Those are all things that you have, to some degree, limited control over, right? You bought your house based off affordability on your 30-year fixed rate mortgage if you're smart. And that's a good thing when it comes to inflation, especially at a low interest rate. But you're going to keep paying more every year because of the efficient part of the government, which is tax collecting. On Wednesday, for the reading, on Wednesday, those assessors warned homeowners that the values are increasing from 30 to more than 60% in some counties. The fact that there is no reprieve for homeowners this year from corner to corner of Douglas County, and probably the whole state. All values have gone up quite significantly. If it's rural, if it's suburban, if it's large, if it's small, if it's expensive or inexpensive, properties in Douglas County in residential class are going up very much, says the Douglas County assessor. And since we're perpetually renters from the government, they'll always get theirs. They're going to make sure that they're very accurate. And the same part of the government that assesses home values and whether they should pay their military per location, that's not as efficient. See, that only went up 10%. This is the funny part. It only went up 10%, but the local assessors realized it went up 30 to 60. So we got to get those taxes. So I recommend looking into your local area, seeing how much they've gone up. But like I said, it's not just your property taxes, it is your utility bills. And certain parts of the country are looking to solve the utility bill problem. And one of the things that the communists are super excited about is means testing things. I've talked about this when it comes to VA benefits. Hey, if you make too much money as a veteran, even though your legs were blown off in Iraq and stuff, if you make too much money and you're an entrepreneur or whatnot, you can't get VA benefit. Even if your legs were blown off in combat, if you're making a lot of money, or let's say your spouse is making a lot of money, do you really need your VA benefits? No. So that's a proposal from Washington. But not to be outdone, California is proposing means testing their utility bills. So it's not based on use. It is based off of income, which I love. So the cool part, if you're poor, we know you're not corrupt and you won't abuse the system. We know that because you don't have money. And if you have money, obviously, you're corrupt, unless you're a politician, of course. So that way we can means test based off of your income, and poor people won't do anything like put Bitcoin miners in their house because they don't pay a lot for their utility bill. That's what I would do if I was them. Okay. Reading from the article, California utility companies propose charging customers based off how much money they make. This is Communism 101. And it's not based off their use. Hey, if you want to buy a family meal and you make over 200,000, that family meal is going to cost you double than if you make under 100,000. See how that makes sense? Same thing with utility usage. Reading from the article, 3 major utility companies in California are looking to restructure customer billing. And part of that means customers could be charged based on how much money they make. Southern California Edison, Pacific Gas and Electric, and San Diego Gas and Electric filed a joint proposal this week for a flat rate charge based on income. I kind of love the state experiment of California. They are going to keep, as I've said many times, they're going to keep trying to extract from the wealthy, and more people are not going to be wealthy. And so they're going to vote to extract from the wealthy, and the wealthy will leave. And then one day they realize there ain't no more people's money. No more money to take. You're running out of other people's money. Further reading, the plan would break monthly bills into 2 parts, the fixed income rate plus a reduced usage charge based on consumption. The income-based bill proposal is part of the company's compliance with legislation, big surprise there, passed by California state government last year requiring these types of plans for utilities. So obviously it's not the free market. It is government coming in and saying, hey, we've been trying to print productivity and it's not working. Is there any way you can create power for free? Can you do that? Oh, you can't? Okay. So how are we going to extract wealth from the wealthy and make them pay for the poor to use power? How do we do that? We can means test their utility usage. So if you're rich and you live in a Connex and you're not using a lot of power and you live in a tiny home or whatnot, and you're rich though, you still got to pay a lot more for power, even though you're not using it, because the poor person needs to be subsidized. Do you think that's a successful model? No. One of my biggest pet peeves is property taxes, in that these unintended consequences come from money printing. In an effort to help the poor and beleaguered, they implement communism, which hurts everyone, including the poor, as we all know. So beatings will continue until morale improves. I'd love to know how high your property taxes are going. Like I said, it's the most efficient part of government. The county assessors, they're really good. They're really good at their job. And like I said, the other part of the government, which assesses how much it went up in order to pay their government employees, like the military, not nearly as on the ball. Big surprise there. All right, y'all, let me know what you think. Let me know how much your property taxes and or utility bills are going up in your area, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.